President and CEO of the World Trade Center Utah, and I'm delighted to be able to help host today's event. We want to recognize a special guest that we have with us and from whom we will hear in just a few moments. That is Senator Howard Stevenson. 10 years ago, Senator Stevenson introduced Senate Bill 41 that introduced the dual language immersion program into Utah schools. And today we will have the opportunity to see firsthand the fruits of those seeds that were planted a decade ago. Before we get into our program in earnest, I wanted to take just a moment to tell you a little bit about the organization that I run, the World Trade Center Utah. We have a mission to promote prosperity across the entire state of Utah by both increasing investment to Utah as well as increasing exports from Utah. And I have to tell you, as the leader of the organization that is the face of international business in Utah, that in Utah, international business is big business. Let me just share a couple data points with you to illustrate that. We in Utah were the only state to double our exports over the last 10 years. In fact, we were the only state that had positive export growth over the last 10 years, including through all of the recession. And we have a goal today to double exports again over the next 4 years. As someone who's been involved in economic development in the state for a long while now, I can tell you my favorite statistic is related to jobs, and that is that nearly 1 in 4 jobs in the state of Utah is supported by international business. All of this puts Utah as the 6th fastest growing export economy in the United States of America. Now, I want you to just think about that for a moment. The 6th fastest growing export economy in the country, little old Utah. On its face, that is a remarkable feat. But when you consider that we are a state of just over 3 million people, located somewhere in the middle of the Rocky Mountains that most people on the two coasts probably couldn't find on a map. And speaking of maps, I don't know when the last time you checked, but we don't have a seaport in Utah. And given that situation, to say that we're the 6th fastest growing export economy in the country is truly, truly remarkable. And it's a testament to the over 3,500 companies in Utah, 85% of which, by the way, are small businesses. It's a testament to those over 3,500 companies that are engaged in international business. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, it's important because competition in the global economy continues to increase all around us every day. And we can't just sit back patting ourselves on the shoulder and thinking what a great job we've done while the competition passes us by. That is why dual immersion is so important to our economy. Foreign language is a critical part of what sets Utah apart and one of the key components to our competitive advantage. In Utah, we have more dual language speakers than any other state. Currently, over 130 languages are spoken in Utah in daily commerce. And it is programs like these that will continue to put Utah ahead of the curve and allow us to keep Utah as the strongest and fastest growing economy in the nation. Now, to help us learn more about these programs, I'm pleased to introduce to you today Carl Bowman, the State Dual Language Immersion Specialist. After Carl speaks, we will hear from Senator Howard Stevenson, and then finally, we'll be able to have our student presentations. Will you please join me in welcoming Carl?
Ni hao, bonjour, and buenas tardes para todos ustedes. Good afternoon and welcome. It's so exciting to be here this afternoon and to feature our students. As Greg Roberts coined the phrase, monolingualism is the illiteracy of the 21st century. On today's world stage, multilingual skills and cultural competence have taken the lead roles as the 21st century showcases the emerging professionals of a future competitive global workforce. Thus, it is Utah's quest to provide all their students with the opportunity to become linguistically proficient and culturally competent by mainstreaming dual language immersion programs for students of diverse abilities across all socioeconomic, ethnic, rural, urban, large and small school communities throughout the state. Utah's statewide dual language immersion initiative is a lofty, incredible, ambitious, and unprecedented effort to ameliorate the urgency for language skills that address the state's business, government, and education needs. In 2008, under the visionary leadership of former Governor John Huntsman and State Senator Howard Stevenson, the Utah legislature passed Senate Bill 41, providing the funding for the dual language immersion program and charging the Utah State Board of Education with creating a world-class DLI program. Legislators and business leaders believe that this is to be a critical long-term investment in the viability and vitality of Utah's future economic competitiveness. Today, dual immersion in Utah enjoys unprecedented, broad-based, cross-sectional support from our state community and others. Currently, there are 101 Spanish, 32 way, and 29 one-way dual immersion programs, and 42 secondary Spanish programs. There are 55 Chinese programs, 32 one-way elementaries, and 23 secondary schools for Chinese. In French, there are 27 schools, 13 one-way, and 14 secondary. 9 Portuguese schools, 8 one-way and 1 secondary, and 1 Russian one-way started first grade this year. So that's really, really exciting. These programs are serving over 35,000 students across 22 school districts and 4 charter schools from every corner of Utah. There are over 1,400 teachers serving our dual language immersion students. And despite the rapid increase in programs, we fall short of the current demands as seen by long wait lists that are common throughout the state. Specific proficiency goals for every DLI program language are set at each grade level in all language modes: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The 2016-2017 Apple assessment showed that the vast majority of students are meeting performance measures across all languages. So that's really a great thing for us. The program offers 2 courses in 7th through 9th grade, a content course in the target language and a second course in advanced language study. In the 9th grade, participating students are expected to enroll in advanced placement language coursework and complete an AP exam. In grades 10 through 12, students will be offered university level coursework that through blended learning and with 7 major universities. These students are also encouraged, if they would like to begin study of a 3rd language in high school. The goal of this articulated K-12 curriculum is to see that state's students enter universities and the global workforce equipped with language skills at the advanced level of proficiency in all 4 critical language skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The DLI initiative is a win-win undertaking for Utah because it builds our capacity for economic prosperity, gives parents choice in education, better meets the instructional needs of EL students, and provides all of Utah's students the skills they need to be competitive in the 21st century academia and global marketplace. Our goal is to eradicate monolingualism since it leaves our students underskilled and unrehearsed to star on the stage of a global marketplace where language skills and cultural competence have taken the lead roles. Thus, in the pioneering spirit of its history, Utah is undaunted in its quest to mainstream DLI for all students. Thank you.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be at this event today. For me, this is like Christmas Day, having waited for 10 years to be able to let everyone see the proficiency level of these students who have been in this program for these years. I've been asked to tell you a little bit about the history of how Utah decided to do this. I was invited to be a speaker in Beijing, China, several years ago. Of 1,000 college students from the United States, a third from the United States, a third from Russia, and a third from China. And it was a family values conference to teach young people about the importance of the nuclear family. After my opening speech, I was with those students for 4 days, and I got to interact with all of them from all 3 countries. And there's one thing I noticed about the Chinese students. They were head and shoulders above the US and the Russian students in their discourse, in their focus on their future, and in their maturity. It was really quite something to see similar aged students, and the Chinese students were very, very different and more advanced than the American or the Russian students. And I thought a lot about that afterward. I thought, China is America's future, and we need to do more to connect and to build bridges culturally and economically with this fastest growing economy in the world. And I want our students to be as culturally and language competent as the Chinese students were, because most of them could speak fluent English. Very few of the Russian or American students could speak a second language at all. And so we sponsored first the Critical Languages program, which gave funding for high schools in Utah to start teaching the languages of our future. We had always been teaching in high school the languages of our history, which is very important, but we also needed to teach the languages of our future. And the critical languages were defined by the Defense Department and the State Department, and so we added those languages. Upon doing that, we then decided the next year to start the dual language immersion program. And Greg Roberts, who had been the world language specialist at Granite School District, took a pay cut to take the job at the State Office of Education to be the person to make sure that we did it with fidelity. And boy, did he. I can tell you there was no wiggle room. If you were one of the schools who applied for the grants to implement dual language immersion, you didn't get to choose how you wanted to do it. You had to do it with fidelity. And I can tell you that it is that standard that has led to what you're going to see today, because we didn't leave it up to anybody to just do it their way. In fact, one of the rules was that the teachers of dual language immersion were never to speak English on the campus. That was a critical rule. And I heard about one of the teachers who was in a community event in Provo, away from the school, and she was speaking in English to people around her. And she looked over and she saw her second grade student just with her eyes awestruck, wondering, I didn't know she could speak English. And the teacher saw her and came over to her, got down on her level, and in Mandarin said, "This has got to be our secret. Can you keep that secret?" And she did, and there was a special relationship there because she honored that request of her teacher. Since then, we have been offered opportunities to have teachers from many foreign languages, from the China mainland, from Spain, from France. And these countries are so excited to enter into MOUs, Memorandums of Understanding, with the state of Utah to furnish us those teachers. And then they're able to go back after a 3-year time here and teach in their schools and teach more effectively about what American culture is really like, at least to the extent that Utah represents American culture. I was invited soon after sponsoring dual language immersion by the ambassador from China to come to Washington, D.C. to witness the signing of the contract between the College Board, which does the AP tests, and the Chinese government that paid for America to have AP Mandarin, Chinese language and culture. Just really exciting to be there. And then they said, can we furnish more and more of your teachers? So we have this program today that is just so amazing. No other state even approaches what we're doing. And the legislature funded it, but you will be surprised to know that this is only $100 per student to accomplish what you are going to see tonight. I have never been involved in any education reform that cost so little yet produced so much. And now the nation's eyes, the world's eyes are upon us as Harvard Law, for example, did a series on One Nation Indivisible, showing areas of America where there's diversity, where you would have expected there to be conflict. And they focused on Wasatch School District, where all of the schools are dual language immersion. Following the Olympics, with the influx of hospitality workers in Park City, many of them Hispanic immigrants, but they couldn't afford to live in Park City, and Heber Valley and Camas were close by. And so there was this influx of Catholic Hispanics meeting white Mormons. And what they found, Harvard Law was so amazed at how the unity of the community occurred, because Landry's parents saw Jesus as a benefit to Landry and vice versa. And it's just a joyful thing, and you can look it up on the web and see what has happened there. There's also some research done on what happens to the brains of children who begin dual language immersion at a young level. There's a lot of things that, first of all, when I sponsored the legislation, I said they will be taught in the elementary grades math and science in the target language. So we shouldn't be alarmed if their scores in math and science are lower than the monolingual kids. But just the opposite has happened. And they're outscoring their monolingual peers in every subject area as a group. The other thing is that there's been brain research that shows that the prefrontal cortex of dual language immersion students matures more rapidly. That's the executive functioning part of the brain that overcomes the impulses like fear and anger and the acting out and that kind of thing. And these students are better behaved. I hope that's true. We'll see that tonight. So I just want to express my gratitude to the educators, to the school boards of the state of Utah, to the principals, because the principals of dual language immersion schools are principals of 2 schools in one building. It's a lot more demanding, it's a lot more work, but we've seen how quickly they embrace it. At one point, the State Board of Education was increasing it by 25 schools a year to expand. And as Carl has said, we have these wait lists, and that's what breaks my heart, because I want to see every child whose parents want them to be in dual language immersion to be able to do that. So, without further ado, we're going to turn the time to Carl to show us what these students can do. Thank you.
Actually, we're going to turn the time to the students to show us what they can do, because they're the ones performing today. So we have 9th grade dual language immersion students here this afternoon. We have a group of students who speak Chinese. Those who speak Chinese, would you stand and be recognized? All the students who speak Chinese. They aren't here yet. We have right there, right back there in the corner. There's one, and then there's his right here too. 4th grade, that's fantastic. And then I think your brother, right? Okay, excellent. A group who speak French? Could you stand? Excellent. Thank you. Awesome. And now we have a group who speaks Spanish. Those who speak Spanish can stand if you wish. So there will be a pair of students from each language. They will come up to the podium. I think we're going to start with Spanish and French to begin with. If you two will come up and their teachers would come up here, would just stand behind me if you would. Those French students and teachers. Excellent. So the freeway is really throwing us a curve today. The freeway has really blocked off one of our Chinese students, and so we'll just need to be patient. We'll do French and Spanish in the rotation, and then we'll go from there. So how it's going to work is the teacher will ask the question in the language and then in English. Step away from the microphone because we need everybody to be hearing what's going on. The one student who is going to be answering it in the language will answer the question, maybe a sentence or two, then their partner will translate that into English. And we'll go through that rotation with Spanish and French as these students take turns showing off their language. So representing French, we have Georgia Geerlings and Fode Dumbia. Wonderful. And for Spanish, we have Lucia Rubio. Oh, there you are. Spanish, come on over here. That'd be great. All right, thank you. And we'll go from there. Georgia. Introduce yourself and where you're from.
Okay, my name is Fode Dumbia. I am from Senegal. It's in West Africa. I've been in Utah since 1994. I did a master's in education at the U, and then I started teaching. So I've been here for forever. Okay, first question in English first is...
In French.
In French, okay. So... Ok. Qu'est-ce que vous plaît d'avoir étudié le français pendant ces 9 dernières années?
Okay, the question is, what do you like about having studied French for the past 9 years?
Pendant ces dernières 9 années, j'ai appris beaucoup sur la culture française et j'aime que j'ai grandi avec ces mêmes personnes pour toutes ces 9 années, alors nous sommes vraiment comme une famille dans cette classe de français.
For the past 9 years, I've learned a lot about the culture of France, and I've grown up with the same people my entire life, so that's been really fun, and we've been able to be really tight and learn together.
Comment est-ce que vous comptez utiliser le français dans votre vie future?
How do you plan to use your French in your future life?
Dans ma future, je veux avoir l'opportunité d'aller étudier dans la France pendant l'université, mais aussi j'aime penser de la vie dans la France ou dans Paris, alors j'espère que je peux vivre dans la France.
I hope I can be able to go to college in France, possibly, and learn more about French and the culture, and then maybe even to live in France for a little while.
Qu'avez-vous appris sur les cultures francophones qui vous a inspiré ou vous a impressionné?
So, what have you learned about Francophone cultures that has inspired you or made a big impression on you? And she'll now answer it and she'll translate.
J'ai beaucoup aimé d'apprendre avec de la culture française comme ils ont une fraternité ils sont ensemble et ils sont très gentils à tout le monde et j'aime aussi la nourriture.
I've loved to learn through these past years about the unity and fraternity that comes with the sharing of the language, and I've loved to learn about the culture.
And the food.
And the food.
One more.
De quelle manière est-ce que le français a enrichi votre vie ou votre vie de famille?
So, in which ways has studying French enriched your life and/or your family's life?
Apprendre le français a beaucoup enrichi ma vie parce que mes sœurs peuvent maintenant parler français avec moi et on peut aider avec leurs devoirs et juste parler ensemble.
French has helped me a lot in my family because my sisters also learn French, and so I'm able to help them with their homework and talk to them.
Hola. This is Spanish. I'm Lucia Rubia. I teach at the University of Utah, but I am also the coordinator for 9th grade dual immersion. And I have 4 students here that are going to speak Spanish and English. So, do you want to introduce yourselves? Isabel?
Me llamo Isabel, yo voy a Evergreen Junior High. Yo soy en el 9º grado y eso es mi 9º año en el programa.
You want to translate?
She said her name is Isabel. She goes to Evergreen Junior High. This is her 9th year in the dual immersion program, and she's in 9th grade.
Ah, Yesenia, ahora preséntate tú.
Hola, me llamo Yesenia Castro. Tengo 8 años en el programa de dual immersion. Voy a la escuela de Eisenhower Junior High y estoy en el 9º grado.
Her name is Yesenia. She goes to Eisenhower Junior High. This is her 8th year in the program and she is in 9th grade.
Okay. Y ahora para Isabel. ¿Qué es lo que más te gusta de tu escuela de dual immersion? What is what you enjoy the most about your dual immersion school?
Lo que a mí me gusta de mi escuela de inmersión es que todas las maestras quieren que nosotros pasamos el examen AP y también la administración compra libros para nosotros para estudiar.
She said that she likes how the teachers help with preparing them and helping them to pass the AP exam, and she likes how the administrators are helping them to pay books to be able to use them.
Perfecto. Ahora para Yesenia. ¿Cuál es tu parte favorita de tu día escolar? What is your favorite part of your school day?
Creo que mi parte favorita es que puedo ver a mis amigos y también que cuando llego a la escuela me da como mucha emoción para aprender y nomás ir a mi clase de español.
Yesenia's favorite part of the day is when she gets to see all of her friends again, and when she gets to school in the morning, she gets really excited to go to all of her classes, especially Spanish.
Okay. Gracias. Y ahora vamos a tener a otras dos. Short introduction.
Okay. Me llamo Miriam Luz y yo voy a la escuela de Eisenhower Junior High. Yo estoy en el programa de dual immersion por 9 años.
Hi, my name is Miriam Luz. I have been in the program of dual immersion for 9 years and I go to Eisenhower Junior High.
Oh.
Hola, me llamo Ceris. He estado en el programa de dual immersión para 9 años ahora. Estoy en 9º y también fui a la misma escuela que ella, a Eisenhower Junior High.
So her name is Cerise, and she goes to Eisenhower Junior High. She's in 9th grade, and she's been in the dual immersion program for 9 years.
Perfecto. Describe un momento en el que hayas tenido que usar el español fuera de la escuela y cómo el español te ayudó. Tell us about a time when you had to use Spanish outside of school and how Spanish helped you.
He tenido algunas experiencias durante los años que he necesitado traducir para la gente que no habla mucho inglés. También tengo muchos amigos que son de afuera del país, que vienen de México, Paraguay, Perú, Venezuela, y ellos no hablan inglés, entonces ayudo, me comunico con ellos en castellano y también yo traduzco para ellos cuando lo necesitan.
So Cerise has had lots of opportunities to translate and help her friends from different areas around the world, such as Peru and Venezuela, to help translate and help them to learn English.
Y last question, why do you want to go to a dual immersion school? ¿Por qué quieres ir y te gusta ir a una escuela de dual immersion?
Yo me encanta mi escuela de dual immersión. En mi escuela nosotros trabajamos duros y nosotros aprendemos de muchas diferentes culturas y muchos diferentes tipos de estudiar, y los niños estamos diferentes y eso está muy bueno.
I like the diversity that is found in our school, and I like learning about the culture, and I just love the whole program, basically.
¿Tenemos más preguntas?
So we're going to have 2 more French students, and then they're just Chinese are just a few minutes away. So.
I'm going to ask them if it's
Introduce yourself.
My name is Manuel Collins-Peno. I am their teacher, and I'm working also for the state and the Granite District for French Immersion. Qu'est-ce qu'il vous tarde d'apprendre dans les cours Bridge?
So what are you looking forward to in the French Bridge 10th, 11th, and 12th grades?
Moi, j'ai bien hâte de prendre des classes universitaires en étant dans le lycée, et j'aimerais bien savoir comment est-ce qu'ils vont approfondir ma compréhension du français en université.
I can't wait to take university classes throughout high school, and I can't wait to understand how it will develop my comprehension in French.
Racontez-nous un événement où vous avez dû utiliser le français hors de l'école et comment ça vous a aidé ou ouvert les yeux.
So tell us about a time when you had to use French outside of school and how it helped you. You want to answer and she translates?
J'ai voyagé au Sénégal il y a 2 ans, et mon escale a été à Paris, et je devais parler aux filles qui sont dans l'avion, et j'ai pu parler du français avec eux et ils ont pu me comprendre.
2 years ago, I had the privilege of going to Senegal, and my layover was in Paris, and I had to speak to the female attendants who spoke French, and my French comprehension really helped me.
Do you have any more questions that you could ask for Spanish? Great. Filler.
¿Quién quiere? 2. Venga. Por ejemplo, ¿qué te interesa más o te gusta más del currículum de Dual Immersion? What interests you about the Dual Immersion curriculum the most?
Lo que a mí más me fascina es que el currículum está basado más en como exámenes y escribir emails, y eso a mí me gusta mucho porque te enseña cómo escribir, ensayos y desarrollar el lenguaje y también cómo escribir un email.
What Yesenia likes about the program is that it's more practical based and like we take a lot of tests and she gets to learn how to write emails and essays and lots of things and participate in the culture.
Una más. Perfecto. Isabel, para ti. ¿Cuáles son las metas que tienes para el final del año de noveno grado? What are your goals for the end of the 9th grade school year?
Para el final de noveno grado yo quiero sacar puras A's en mi calificación y también quiero sacar un 5 en el examen AP de español y también de geografía.
What Isabel said is that at the end of 9th grade, she wants to be able to pass her geography and Spanish AP tests with a 5 and get straight A's.
What's amazing to me is the translator has to retain so much information to be able to give it back. So, welcome Chinese students. Come on up with your teacher, and we'll start that process. Your teacher is Nancy West. We're glad that they got here safely on the freeway. That's great. Stacy Lyon is also our Chinese dual immersion director for the state, and she has a quick announcement for you.
Thank you. This is an exciting time for Chinese DLI in Utah, particularly because this spring we have the distinct honor and privilege of hosting the National Chinese Language Conference here in Utah. This is a conference sponsored by the College Board and Asia Society out of New York, and they selected Utah for this event this year. This means that we're going to have teachers, administrators coming to Utah to come into our classrooms to see the teachers and to attend 2 or 3 days of presentations on teaching language and culture in Chinese. We feel that this is an opportunity for us to reach out with leadership at a national level, and would like to do that by means of a locally organized welcome event that can bring together conference attendees and Utah's newest natural resource, our dual language immersion families, teachers, and students. And we've chosen a theme for this event, Together We Are More, and we hope that that can help convey across the nation the idea that it's through collaboration that we accomplish things like that. So today I issue an invitation to you to join us as partners in that. We have yet to secure a venue for this event, and we'll need support at many levels so that we can make this a first-class experience that will truly represent what Utah is all about. And let's get on and show you what our students can do. Thank you.
So she's at a disadvantage, not knowing what the format is. Nancy, why don't you come up with your students? And you can ask the question in Chinese, then in English, and then they'll each translate for each other.
Introduce these two as
Yeah.
being the ones that.
Go ahead, that'd be great.
How many years ago was that? 2008?
They were in 4th grade, so that's, how many years?
5 years ago?
5 years ago? Yeah.
5 years ago. 5 years ago, the legislature, Senator Stevenson invited 2 students to come and share their progress in Chinese, and today we have those same 2 back as 9th graders to start us off, Seth and Jane, and so we're going to let them introduce themselves for just a quick minute. In English is fine.
My name is Jane Sandberg. I'm actually in 10th grade this year, but I've been learning with the 9th graders, and I'm super happy to be here.
Tell us your school.
Oh, yeah. We're from Tinview High School.
I'm Seth Franson. I also go to Tinview, and I'm also in 10th grade, but study with the 9th graders.
So you're going to ask the question in Chinese, I'll do it in English, and then who's going to answer in Chinese first? Okay. Perfect. Okay, you go right ahead.
Seth， 你学习中文已经9年了，你对这个对你的生活有什么影响？
I'm going to translate. So Seth, you've studied Chinese for 9 years. Can you please tell us how this has impacted your life?
我很感谢我学了中文9年，对我而言，学习中文对我很祝福，因为我学了中文，我可以和中国人一起当朋友和跟他们讲话。
So Seth said he's learned a lot the past 9 years in Chinese, and it's been a huge blessing because he's been able to meet and communicate with a lot of other people who can speak Chinese, who otherwise he wouldn't probably have been able to meet.
Jane， 你已经学习这么多年的中文，你为什么还愿意继续在这个沉浸式项目学习？
Jane, you've been in the Chinese immersion program for many years. What makes you want to stay?
我很喜欢学中文，我已经中文已经对我有很多帮助，和我有很多特别的机会。我觉得每个地方我去，我就可以跟别人说中文和跟他们当朋友。和我也知道，在我未来工作上，我能讲中文是一个很大的优势。
Jane said that she loves learning Chinese and it has helped her in many ways. And she's had so many amazing opportunities because of learning Chinese. Everywhere she goes, she has found opportunities to speak to people that also know Chinese and learn from their examples. She believes that by learning Chinese, it'll be a huge advantage while working.
Seth， 你将来想上大学吗？然后呢，你学习中文将来对你的未来有什么样的帮助？
So Seth, wondering if you're planning on attending college, and how do you feel that Chinese will help you to achieve your goals in the future?
虽然我现在不知道我要去哪一个大学，但是我毕业的时候很想去大学。我觉得因为我学了中文，我可以在 NSA 做网络保卫区。我很想做网络保卫区在 NSA。如果我要去，我先要去服兵役。我觉得中文会帮我，因为病人现在军队很想有人可以说中文。
So although Seth wants to go to college, he doesn't quite know which university he wants to go to, but he knows that he's interested in going into cybersecurity for the NSA, and he thinks that his Chinese will definitely help him because first he can go be in the military and then from there advance on to being in the NSA.
Jane， 你学中文的时候，你最喜欢哪一方面？然后呢，你觉得最大的困难跟挑战是什么？
What's your favorite part about learning Chinese, and what have been some of the challenges along the way?
我最喜欢学中文的东西是写字。有时候学中文对我有点难。学会这个音调和看懂文法。 文章还有写上几千个单词，要花很多年去练习。但是因为我从很小的时候就学中文，我知道我比别的高中学生在学中文 我脱颖而出，和我知道如果我不断的学习，我可以把我的缺点变成我的优点。
Jane's favorite part of Chinese is the writing. There are many times when Chinese is difficult. Learning to read and write the thousands of characters takes years of practice. And the tones while studying Chinese are very difficult to master. But she knows that since she's been practicing very little, she stands out in the crowd compared to other high schoolers that are learning Chinese. She knows that as long as she continues to keep working on her Chinese, that her weaknesses will become her strengths.
Seth， 明年我们要开始上那个大学衔接课程啊。那你觉得这个大学衔接课程呢，应该怎么样可以帮助你的中文更进步？
Next year, you're going to be taking the bridge course. How do you feel that that will help you overcome the difficulties and increase your Chinese proficiency?
今年我们会做中文 AP 考试，很多人做中文 AP 考试的时候没有时间可以继续学，但是我和我的同学们很想继续学中文。我觉得这个衔接课程会让我们继续学。我觉得这个衔接课程会让我们进步，这是最好的方法，让我们进步。虽然这个衔接课程会很难，但是我觉得真的会让我们进步我们的中文和中文文化。
So this year we're going to be taking the Chinese AP test. Many students get to that point and then aren't able to continue their learning, but the students at Tinfu will be able to, we want to continue our learning of Chinese after taking this test. The bridge courses are a really good way to continue to learn, and they'll be challenging, but definitely help us to continue to progress in our Chinese abilities.
Jane， 你在7、8、9年级的课程里面学到了很多关于中国文化的项目，特别是关于中国家庭的文化跟知识。可不可以请你比较一下中国人的家庭价值观和美国人有什么不同和相同的地方？可以跟我们分享一下。
So in the 7th through 9th grade culture class, a lot of time has been spent learning about Chinese values. Would you please compare and contrast a family value in Chinese and American culture and share your point of view with us?
我觉得东西方父母都爱他们的孩子，和想他们可以成功。但是东方父母常常比较严格，和西方父母常常比较温和。有很多地方都就是比方说练习乐器、找男女朋友、学业成绩、玩电动、花钱、做家事和起床和睡觉的方面。东方父母比较不让孩子们选他们想做的东西，和西方父母给他们的孩子比较多选择。我自己比较喜欢西方父母的方法，因为我喜欢有比较多选择和如果我可以选我要做的事情，我就比较快乐。
Although Eastern and Western parenting styles are very different, they both have a lot of similarities. Both types of parenting love their children and want to see them succeed and be happy. When it comes to things like practicing instruments, making friends, getting good grades, playing video games, spending money or sleep, Eastern parents tend to be more strict and Western parents tend to be more neutral. Eastern parents aren't always good about letting their children make their own decisions and learn from their mistakes. Western parents usually let their kids choose what they want to do, and sometimes that means making mistakes. Personally, Jane likes the Western parenting style better because because it allows her more options, and she doesn't like to be restricted, and she likes to choose her own way, and it makes her happy to have those options.
I'd like to point out the other Chinese students who are here representing their schools as well. Let's give all of our students and teachers a round of applause, please. So now it's time just for some refreshments and mingling. And so we'll kind of let the students, wherever they have their name tags and their languages, so you can come up and talk with them if you'd like. Thank you for coming this afternoon.